Alright, I guess I'll start talking. But I want to talk about consciousness because people be looking at me crazy when I be walking around talking about I'm woke. Then I get to talking and they be all interested. Then I start saying some stuff they never heard before and they be looking at me like, mm. Okay, first and foremost, consciousness. What is consciousness? Consciousness is the ability to look inward towards yourself and the world for a new perspective. Pretty much seeing through the eyes of the system, what you've been taught, you feel me? The secret that most people try to discover, which can only be found in melanin or in the root of black people. But white people do practice spiritualism. But the key to consciousness lies in us as black folks. Now, enlightenment deals with consciousness. What is enlightenment? Enlightenment is the way of thinking outside of your normal self, your conscience, and getting into the subjective and the objective, which is your conscious and your subconscious. Now, your conscious is who you are, what you're aware of, what you know, what you think. You feel me? Like when you think and you know what you're thinking, that's conscious. But your subconscious is more so what you don't think or what you're not aware of what you're thinking. So more yourself. Talking about so smart. I am. I'm too intelligent for my own good. I am. But the subconscious is who we are supposed to be tapping into. More so who you are. When I say willpower or self-enlightenment, self-exploration, self-awareness, that's in your subconscious. That is, okay, zodiacs for instance. You know your zodiac, say you're Leo, Libra, but you have a moon, you have a Pluto, you have a Chiron, you have a true node, you have a Neptune, you have a Saturn. You know, you have pretty much the 5 known planets and the sun and the moon. You have those, and each one of those play a key part in who you are as far as your family, your friends, your life purpose, your destiny, what you want to say out be like if you don't really know what kind of field you want to work in or what you want to do as a person, that'll be what you look towards, which is in your natal chart. AKA, I pulled those up, and I can tell, I do readings, I can help y'all with that if y'all want to know. But your natal chart is pretty much you and the planets and the positions at the time that you were born, on the day that you were born. Like, say if you're an Aquarius, your birthday is like January the 10th, or January the 13th, you'll be a Capricorn, but your moon will be an Aquarius. Or your moon could be a Sagittarius. It really just depends on the planets at the time. Say I'm an Aries, my moon is a Cancer, my ascendant is a Cancer. Now, if you go look on the zodiac chart, Cancer is nowhere near Aries, so it's like, okay, if your zodiac is an Aries, how can you be a Cancer? Well, I was born at 12:15 p.m. And each sign, okay, your moon spends about 2 days in each sign. It goes from sign to sign. Your sun spends about a week or two, depending on what retrograde or what transition the planets are in. So when you figure all of that out, you pretty much know yourself, top to bottom, in and out. It's all on the chart. It's all there. When you think, okay, I know this about me or I know that about me, but I feel like it's something higher that I'm supposed to work towards, or I feel like it's something missing from me. Boom. That feeling is always your soul telling you that it's time for you to wake up. Say you sleep too long and your body go to ache and your body go to hurt, and mentally you want to stay asleep, but physically your body is telling you to get up. Why is that? Why is your mind and your heart not on one accord? Why is your body not in sync? That's because your conscious and your subconscious, your subjective and your objective is fighting against each other. So most times when you're going through a lot of life problems or you keep going through certain situations you don't understand, you feel like you're just going through stuff because you don't know why, you pretty much are missing what your soul is telling you. Your soul is telling you to wake up because the system that you are allowing yourself to partake in is no longer working for you. You are now becoming confused with your environment or with everything that's around you. So consciousness helps you play a very big role in everything you do. It helps you make decisions. It just helps you go through life. Now, I'm going to say something that y'all might think is crazy, but I'm going to say it. We are not human. We are not human. Listen, we are not human, bruh. I look like a human, I talk like a human, and I walk like a human. Facts. But your soul, that is what you are. You do not have a soul. You are a soul, but you have a body. Your body is your temple. Those two things right here on the side of your head, those temples, those pressure points, they can get hit very hard, and if they do, you die. Why? Not because it's a part of the head or that's a part of the brain. It's because your pineal gland, all of this is interconnected right here. This is your third eye. This is your crown chakra. The temples are the housing for your brain. The temples are what keeps you rooted with the universe. Your temples are what connects you to the source. Yes, we are all different people. We are all different forms. We have different names. We have different goals, and we all have different pathways in life. But if you look inward, you'll see that we are all working towards the same thing. We are all connected to the same one source. I like to look at it like we are the universe expressing itself in many different ways, in many different forms. When you look at someone else, you're not so more as different as you think you are towards them. The gravitational pull, okay, I'm outside right now. My mom is in the living room. But the gravitational pull right now between both of us is stronger than the gravitational pull of the planets affecting us. You know how they say the planets and won't affect us. If you were on here previously and I was talking about the planets, then that's pretty much how that connects. Okay. Now, I'm going to have an epiphany. When you're happy or sad, you're mad, you're upset, you're joyous, or you're grateful. What makes you happy or sad? What makes you joyous? What makes you grateful? What upsets you? Many different things, right? But out of all of those factors that can make you either happy or sad or joyous or grateful, it's one thing that stays the same out of all of those factors. Each time those situations are arising and you're feeling these different emotions, it's always one thing in those situations that never change. It's you. How? Okay? Because when you are aware of something, you notice that they're causing you to feel a certain thing, but you can't feel without first thinking. But how do you know that you are happy or sad from a situation if you don't allow that? It's because you are aware of that. And I'm getting to the point that we are not just bodies. We are happy, peaceful backgrounds of awareness. Our key setting is happiness. The only way that we change from happiness is when we are aware of something that we allow to change that happiness or shift that happiness in us. No one is responsible for anything that you do except you, right? All right. Consciousness part 2. I'm trying to keep y'all on here because I don't want y'all to be like, oh, she crazy, and just start watching. So I'm gonna go little by little. Okay, something next. Okay, how we got here. Boom. How did we get here? Now I don't know because I'm not Einstein. I'm close enough to him, but I'm not Einstein. Okay, from my understanding, we were created from monkeys, right? But somehow, through the process of the universe changing dimensions, we evolved and we became the smarter species. How did the white folks get here? Let me tell you about those. Not just playing because I got some white friends on here and I love y'all very much. But let me tell you about the white folks. The white folks killed us. They killed the Native Americans. They took over the Americas. They brought us here. They, okay. I can say that we were fake because the Africans sold their brothers and sisters to the white men in order to get us here for land and for money. But eventually they were killed too because the white folks brought diseases. They brought AIDS and they brought HIV. None of that was possible. None of that was possible until they came here and killed us. Now, the reason that white folks want to be superior to us is because of black consciousness. We are the only creation, we are the only people that have the power to do what we do, and they know that. It's actually a documentary out there. It's called The Secret, and it talks about all of that, how they killed us and how they were trying to steal our land and how they were going to the motherlands of Africa inside the caves and everything, searching for this one thing that gives us the power that we have as black people. It's the one thing that most of us lack. Is the one thing that we need, and that's consciousness, and that's it. It's just consciousness. What is the difference between living consciously and unconsciously? Okay, when you live unconsciously, you eat meat. All right, y'all. Public service announcement part 2. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about self-awareness because self-awareness is one of the most important aspects of life that one can have, but it seems to be like the most untaught, unexpressed, uninformed category in human existence, because it's like, okay, I know me, you know you, I know myself, I'm self-aware, right? No. Self-awareness and self-actualization, self-love, self-acknowledgement. It's more than just understanding that you are a person and that you are you. Oh, my name is Markeisha. My birthday is April 11th. I was born in 2000. My zodiac is in Aries. My favorite color is red. My favorite number is 13. I live here and I live there, and I like this and I like that, and my favorite food is this and my favorite food is that. It's more to that. It's a whole lot more to that. Because also with self-awareness and self-actualization comes the shedding of the physical ego and more of the growing of the spiritual ego, which is used for protection and reasoning, more so thought and learning, as far as judgment, as far as intake, as far as understanding, as far as inclination and tranquility and understanding the world around us and how we evolve. So what is self-awareness? Self-awareness is the understanding of oneself. Self-awareness is the ability to look inward and to actually understand one's thoughts, one's feelings, and one's emotions, and one's environment, you know, one's social life, how one is perceiving the world and how one is intaking everything from other people or the world. Self-actualization is actually understanding your purpose, your ikigai, your mission, your drive, understanding how your mind works and where your mental is coming from, what information are you learning and where are you learning it from? Are you reading? Are you writing? Are you watching movies? Are you watching TV, documentaries? Is it more inner knowing, more solar plexus, more just information coming out of nowhere? That's self-awareness and self-actualization. Why is this stuff important? Like, okay, I know me. How can this help me? What's going on? Like, what is this? What is it used for? Self-awareness and self-understanding, self-actualization is used for a higher knowledge, a higher guidance, a more divine principle of life. Because when you are self-aware, you are self-actualized, you have the power to look in and return to this center, this energy, this original setting of happiness, this happy, peaceful background of awareness, this background that you are just observing. You know, as I'm looking at me in the camera right now, you're looking at me, you see me through your eyes, so you are aware of me, right? Okay, so that's self-actualization, that's self-understanding. But instead of looking at me and looking at other people, you're looking at you and get to observe yourself, right? So when you understand yourself on a higher level, you begin to intake knowledge, you begin to understand, your perception begins to change, and you begin to vibrate at these higher energies, and then you start to understand the world from a more different perspective, and you start to see and understand and realize things that you might not have noticed before, like, but it's like you start to unveil back your own truths and the truths of the world, and kind of this matrix figure of the world that you once were systemed in. Once you become self-aware and self-actualized and more generalized with the world itself, you start to see through these VBKs and through these things that we were, you know, made to perceive, and the things that we were made to believe and taught to learn in school that are not true. And as you get older, you might consciously, unaware, you know, kind of unlearn things that you already have. But with becoming this great person brings self-awareness, and it causes for self-actualization. We are divine beings. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. We are not humans having a spiritual experience whatsoever. Nothing about this world is spiritual in the sense of heaven or hell, or in the sense of some great God, you know, being over us, kind of looking down at us type thing. No, we are sources of energy, of light, electromagnetic waves, fire, oxygen. We are composed of matter, energy, consciousness, awareness, right? Soul bodies. We are these. The energy running through your veins, that is you, that is me, that is us, right? This skin, that's not who we are. My eyes, this mouth, this hair, this body is not me. It is just a shell in which my energy is residing in, right? And with this body, I am able to learn, right? And I'm able to become aware. I am able to perceive and intake information through my senses. I am able to walk in a physical plane with this physical body, but I am a electromagnetic energy, right? Sitting in this. Okay, so with self-awareness and self-actualization comes the soul, body, and the spirit mind connecting to all of this information that I'm giving you and actually understanding it to be true, because it is. But until you become aware and knowledgeable, and you open your third eye and you balance your chakras and you become self-aware, you can't really understand this information. So our ego begins to reject it because our soul knows it's true, but our ego mind can't comprehend it because we may never heard it before. You know, we're so used to being conditioned, right, and systematically trained that we can't step away from those false views to actually step into the truth of the world. That way we can overtake and get our power back from our oppressors that are trying to put us on a lower level of understanding and living and kind of keeping us stagnant, right? Okay, so with self-awareness comes the understanding of this spirit, body, and mind, right, as one but a separate source. Like, you have this physical plane and then you have this language, right? We observe and we live on this physical plane aspect, our environment. We are a species of this environment. Although this nature is our home and it is our God, we have a language in which we speak spiritually, soulfully, right? And we combine the physical with the spiritual, and then we now have a physical plane with physical bodies and spiritual aspects, right? Religion is another language or languages to look at this spiritual body in this this physical plane, right? Because we are spiritual entities, we are energy, but we are connected to this body while we are here because our soul, our spirit body, is residing in this physical body. So when you become self-aware, you begin to understand that. So you begin to connect to your God-like being, right? Because there's no power that God, a great divine principle, this energy source in which we get all of our knowing and our being and our understanding, where we return to when we sleep, our energy, right? This divine principle, this God-like energy, when you begin to tap into your self-awareness, you begin to attract that energy to you. You begin to vibrate at higher frequencies, right? Your perception begins to change and you become into a higher consciousness and level of awareness and understanding with things around you. That's self-awareness. That's self-actualization, right? So you begin to understand how we are all the universe, these energies expressing itself in many human forms. Me, you, our neighbors, our classmates, our mothers, our fathers, dogs, cats, other animals. We are this one energy, but we are many different people and many different things expressing itself as different things. But when we all come back together, we are one body, one mind, and one soul. So self-awareness brings you to the understanding of all of that, and it helps you appropriate and make decisions better. It helps you to become more knowledgeable of the things that you allow into your life, the people that you allow around you, the energies that you allow into you, how you perceive, how you receive, how you take away, and how you put out. You have to understand that on a deeper and a higher level of knowledge and understanding, which is self-awareness and self-actualization. So I just want to say that if you don't know who you are, may you please work to find out, because there is no one waiting for you on the other side of this world to tell you, well done, my good and faithful servant, like we've been taught. No one can tell you that except you. When you look inward to connect with yourself and this divine principle that is God, and you begin to see who and what God means to you specifically and personally, on your own level of understanding and being and way of living. Thank you.